What's going on, guys? I have another preview video today for week 1 of the 2012 NFL season, and today I'm talking about the Minnesota Vikings and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The game I've been looking forward to the most, of course, being a Minnesota Vikings fan. And the Vikings, they have two favorable games to open up their schedule against the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. And if the Vikings are to have any success this year, I think they need to start 2-0 against the Jaguars and the Colts. And so it starts week 1 at the Metrodome, where the Vikings play their best football. They seem to always be a different team at the Metrodome, and I got a glimpse of that week 2 in the preseason when they dominated the Buffalo Bills. Played very well in that game. Christian Ponder, perhaps his best game as a Viking. Although it was preseason, I liked a lot of the things I saw from Ponder in that game, completing passes to, I believe, 8 different receivers. And so the Vikings here come into this game with some new talent this year, a young roster, the third youngest team in the NFL, I do believe. And the Jaguars are coming off of a tough season last year, but they have a very good defense, and they have added Justin Blackmon over the offseason along with Laurent Robinson. And they have Maurice Jones-Drew now, who ended his almost 40-day holdout not that long ago, but he will not start in this game. The starter will be Rashad Jennings. And of course, they have second-year quarterback Blaine Gabbert coming off of a shaky rookie season, a lot of criticism thrown his way. He had some good games in the preseason, and now it's time for him to show what he can do in season 2 of his NFL career. And the same goes for Christian Ponder. He looks to be improved. There's more talent on this offense. And so when I look at this game, mainly I'm going to be looking at Blaine Gabbert versus Christian Ponder. Both quarterbacks had their struggles last year, but both have more talent on their offenses and both look to be more improved physically. But will that be enough to make their teams better this season? The Jaguars added Justin Blackmon, who they've been needing a #1 receiver for as long as I can remember. I remember the days of Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell, but those days are far behind us. And so Justin Blackmon, I really liked Michael Floyd a lot more than him coming into the draft, but Blackmon had a good preseason, and I really like how he can use his physicality to box out cornerbacks and make catches. And as a Viking fan, I don't want to see him break out this week and show why he was a top 5 draft pick. So they're going to probably match up Chris Cook against him, who was, of course, coming off of his suspension last year for his domestic violence case. He missed like 10 games, I believe, but he's back now. He's going to get a lot of playing time early, and the Vikings really have a lot invested to him being a second-round draft pick of a couple of years ago. And so I think him and his 6'2" frame match up well against Justin Blackmon, but it's not going to be a lot of man-to-man situations, I don't think, so they're going to still run a lot of their cover 2 and play a lot of zone, but I still expect Chris Cook to be there for a lot of opportunities to break up passes, hopefully, and to be in position to make some plays to shut down Justin Blackmon. That's going to be my main concern, because Maurice Jones-Drew is not coming off of a full offseason. He missed like 38, 39 days, and the history of guys who have held out at running back is not very good. I'm not sure how many carries he's going to get, but Rashad Jennings was very capable in the preseason, but the Vikings, they always have a pretty good front 7 for stopping the run. But they do have 2 new starters in that front 7, LaTroy Guion at defensive tackle and Jasper Brinkley at middle linebacker, who's a good run stopper. He's going to come off the field in nickel situations more than likely for passing downs for Aaron Henderson to take over that spot, because he's just better in pass coverage, and Jasper's more of just a run stopper, a lot like E.J. Henderson was for many years for the Minnesota Vikings. Then in the secondary, first-round draft pick Harrison Smith is going to take over one of the safety spots and probably play a lot in the box because he's very physical. And then the opposite starting safety, I'm assuming, is going to be Mistral Raymond, because he's better in pass coverage than Jamarcus Sanford, who is really much more of a special teamer now. And then I'm interested to see how much Antoine Winfield we see in the base defense. I expect him to play a lot because Chris Carr and Zach Bowman were both cut. Both didn't really have that great of off seasons with the Vikings. And so rookie Josh Robinson could be asked to play a lot this week. Perhaps most of his spots will be in the nickel. But already this year, I have a lot more confidence in the Vikings secondary than last year. Last year, they were a NFL, one of the worst secondaries in the history of the NFL, I believe, by statistics. They had like 9 straight games in a row with no interceptions, an NFL record, and they had like an opposing passer rating of like 100 and who knows how much. It was just ridiculous last year. And so there's some speed in this defense this year. There's some more attitude with Harrison Smith in the secondary, and I'm looking forward to see how the Vikings secondary can play against some better receivers now, against guys like Justin Blackmon. We'll see how Laurent Robinson does, but I like the Vikings matchup against the Jaguars because of Chris Cook against Justin Blackmon, and I just hope that they do some new things with the scheme this year to make it less easy for teams to pass on, because it's been so automatic in past years. It's been really aggravating as a fan to watch it week after week and to see all the success. I don't want to see Blaine Gabbert tear apart the Vikings defense. If he does, the Jaguars are probably going to win this game outright very easily. And so I'm expecting the Vikings front 4 to really get after Blaine Gabbert, make some tough situations, some tough throws. Hopefully Jared Allen and Brian Robinson can apply the pressure. We'll see how LaTroy Guion does. His first, I don't think it's his first start, but it's his first year as the starting tackle and having nobody else in front of him. And so it's going to be him and Fred Evans playing a lot. And I just hope that they can kind of fill in the void that Pat Williams left and Remy Adele failed to fill in last year. And so now on the Vikings offensive side of the ball, obviously the offensive line is much improved with Matt Khalil at left tackle, Charlie Johnson moves to left guard, John Sullivan's a very good center, Brandon Fusco making his first start at right guard, and Phil Lodehold at right tackle. And I expect to see a lot of twin tight ends this week. We'll see how much John Carlson we actually see, because he missed the entire preseason, and he was the Vikings' most coveted free agent this offseason, signing a 5-year, $25 million contract. But my X factor in this game for the Minnesota Vikings is going to be Kyle Rudolph. I expect him to break out this year, to have a big season, and I expect Kyle Rudolph to be Christian Ponder's go-to guy on third down as well as in the red zone. And then don't forget about Percy Harvin. He played his best last year when he had to be like the only guy the Vikings had. There wasn't much else the Vikings had for weapons, and Percy Harvin made the most of his situations last year. He played some running back as well, and he was the Vikings' all-around offensive playmaker last year. I expect him to play well this year and have his best season of his career, especially with some more talent around him. Hopefully the Vikings' offensive line holds up and Christian Ponder can have some time in the pocket to make some good decisions and become comfortable in the pocket and have a good start to the season. And I'm also looking forward to see how Toby Gerhart does against this good Jacksonville front seven, and we'll see if Adrian Peterson plays at all. I think he's going to get a couple carries if he is active, but I'm not expecting a whole lot from Adrian Peterson. I'm more focused on Toby Gerhart right now. And so my players to watch for the Minnesota Vikings are going to be Kyle Rudolph and Toby Gerhart on offense. I'm also watching for Christian Ponder, of course, being a second-year quarterback, but I want to see Toby Gerhart move the chains and make it a little bit easier on the young quarterback. And then on the Jacksonville side of the ball, I'm looking at Blaine Gabbert and Justin Blackmon. I'm definitely highlighting that matchup between Chris Cook and Justin Blackmon. And I also want to see the spark that Percy Harvin can give this Vikings offense. And I want to see if he makes any big plays in the passing game or on a reversal in the running game somehow. Or we'll see he can do like he did last year and take the opening kickoff of the season for a touchdown. And so that is my preview of this week's Week 1 matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I expect this game to be very close. I want to see if either offense can really get rolling. Perhaps this game could be a little bit more unbalanced, but with Blaine Gabbert and Christian Ponder not being really proven yet, I expect this to be a close game, but I have the Minnesota Vikings coming out on top in the Metrodome, getting the victory in this game, 24-21 with a game-winning field goal from rookie kicker Blair Walsh. So that is my preview and predictions for this game, guys. I'll have another video coming out in a little bit with my predictions for every NFL game this week. And so thank you guys for watching. Leave feedback on the video if you want to see more of these next week. I can definitely bring some more. They're fun to do. And so thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.